Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's serious whenever we've got the purple lights on.
You bloody well do.
It's bloody serious. We've got some huge news. As you may have seen one of us on someone's YouTube channel.
You may have. And that someone has got a pretty big name in the business. As far as the ground we're trying to run on, this is almost the Usain Bolt of business podcasting, business content.
Yeah, let's just get straight to it.
Let's just
shall we?
rip the Band-Aid off.
So, obviously, maybe the reason why you're here is because of the title. Maybe the reason why you're here is because you've seen Oliver, a co-host of Suits and Sliders on Simon Squibb'S latest, or one of the videos he has posted recently.
You certainly have.
And it is you, my friend.
It was me.
Do you want to just...
Get straight into it?
I think we may as well. I mean, if you got any questions as well, Tom, feel free to chime in.
We've got Tom checking out with us today.
Take us through how on earth it started. When did it start?
Well, I'll get started.
I guess we start there.
I mean, to kick us off, we both had a discussion a short while back about me having to go through the process of getting in touch with a celebrity, an influencer, someone of sorts, and that may come out before or after this, so I won't spoil that side of the things for you lovely people. But I went to the end of the earth to try and get in touch with people, and we got a response from a mighty big fish.
A big boy.
A big boy. Similarly by luck, but also by a bit of hard graft. So I'll get into it. I was flicking through Instagram, and I've been in so many people's DMs, and I saw an opportunity pop up.
Yeah.
To get in touch with Mr. Simon Squibb.
But before we get into that, right?
Yes.
Good little tip. Nag anyone. We're living in a social media world where you literally can contact someone.
When I tell you this, none of this ball was rolling a week ago. I'm telling you, as this video unfolds, realise that a week ago, this was not even fathomed, let alone on the cards. And as of now, we are in a vastly different position. So we're going to get into it. Yes. So I put an application in to be on Simon Squibb's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Now, Simon Squibb's moving a bit between the content of podcasting, but also now doing challenge videos.
Yes.
That gamification of things, as we've spoken about before, is becoming quite big.
And
he's taken the turn for it.
3.7 or 4 million followers on Instagram.
Almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube.
Jesus.
So we're talking about, as we said, quite a big fish. And I'm sure you've heard about him. If you're checking out this content, you've probably heard of him before. And by some miracle, I go to work, think nothing of it, send off a little application, fill in my details, send off a little video as well.
So he put up a story, am I right?
Yes, so he put up a story, and the story said...
And you replied
if you'd like to be on a future video... send us an app, fill in this form basically. So you click on it, send it through to a Google form.
Wow.
And on the form was basically your details, your like Instagram and so on and so forth, and upload a short video of yourself speaking about what your dream is. Obviously, his whole thing is, what is your dream?
What is your dream?
And
Tom, what is your dream?
What's your dream, Tom?
Tough one. For the moment,
Us paying more.
on videography, Suits and Sliders, got to be part of the dream.
There we go. Love that.
It's got to be part of the dream.
Yes. Do you know what my dream is?
Correct words. Go on.
More Patreon followers.
That is a dream.
That's one of my big dreams.
There's plenty of dreams. I am. We'll get into those.
We can. I think we should do that in the future. Start like not maybe use the what is your dream, but maybe talk about like new ideas outside of 5 Minute Millionaires. Anyway, we'll crack on. So I heard back from the application I sent off at 1 a.m. right from somebody in his team, saying, "Quick turnaround. He's got a video going out on Monday. What do you fancy, basically? Do you want to be on it?" And I was like, being serious. He was like, "Yeah, bring some people down to Brighton. Gonna get a video done in 2 days' time." And I was like, holy shit. Like, I was sort of scrambling, didn't know what it was going to be about. They sent me a video idea of what it was going to be like in the past. And we can maybe throw that in as like a hyperlink somewhere, someone can check it out. But basically, it was having a bunch of people line up on the street and tell him his business idea. He picked off those people, a bunch of people to go through to the next stage, and they went through another ramble in order to win some money. And I was like, okay, right, well, that's what I've got to work with. I didn't know if that was going to necessarily be the video I had. But
so they were just like, here's a link, nothing else.
They said, if you sign this form, that you agree to the terms, which is basically a form to be on their channel and like that we can't sort of change the content. We can't ask them to do anything with the content. What they record is their value, basically.
Yeah, you're just agreeing to the rights of using your images.
Exactly. So you had to sign that, and then they said, here's the location, here's the time, see you there, basically. Nothing more than that. So very elusive as far as what was going to go on.
Sick.
And so I drop everything and start zoning in. I'm like, right, I've got to prepare the question of obviously what is your dream, because if that wasn't going to be a part of it, I would have been surprised. Aside from that, there's not much I could have done, and I didn't manage to do much else because I only had a short turnaround. Anyway, day comes around. I prepared a little pitch as to like what my dream is, and something that hasn't really touched the face of this podcast yet is we both got quite big dreams as far as like the distant future to where we want to eventually be with business, as we both talked about.
Yeah.
And one of mine and yours in many ways involves property and creating, affordable accommodation for low salary income jobs, similarly to how universities do it in students, where they offer sort of communal living to a certain degree at an affordable rate, where people can thrive in communities, build friendships, and also pursue their dreams through the form of education. And I think that could be adapted to hospitals when it comes to nurses, or airports when it comes to cabin crew.
Yeah.
The list is endless.
Don't give too much away.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, it's all going to be on Simon's video anyway.
Yeah,
so, and so that's been my sort of end of the line dream, really. And getting there does come as making this podcast, inspiring people to make their business dreams.
Stepping stones, for
exactly.
sure. Like,
building our business acumen.
Yeah, you can't walk into a property industry with no cash.
Exactly. And so in the process of getting there, obviously we go through these milestones that we're going through now. And so that was what my pitch was almost about. It's about the fact that the podcast exists, about how well it's doing so far, and on top of that, about the property dream.
Yeah.
And so I turn up, and it was a weird experience, right? So first of all, I turn up 2 hours early. Always turn up early to these things because you never know what's going to happen. I was expecting him and his crew to maybe be there early to set up, and maybe I could get an edge way in. Didn't work out that way. I had a drunk come over to me instead. So I sat on the bench.
Brighton, mate.
I sat on the bench, and this guy, what was his name? Malcolm. I've got footage of Malcolm, which we can get in on the video. And Malcolm comes over to me with a guitar, and he goes, "I've just got this guitar for free, man." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Can you play?" I was like, "No, not really." And he hands me the guitar. I was like, so I like play a chord, and he was there like, "Let me show you how to improve that." It's a really weird start to the day. Right. This man takes back the guitar and starts playing a song about how he's killed a man. He's like, "I've killed a man." And I've got the whole thing on video, so we can add a clip in now. I said to him, "Can we use it?" He was there like, "Yeah, sure." So we could definitely use the whole footage.
Blow him up. Blow up Malcolm.
Yo, listen, big man thing. Man like Narcos, listen here. Ollie.
See it, man.
First, I'm 80 stripes. Before I kill the man, man.
Here we go.
Big man thing. Why kill a man? Why? He had to go. Had to go. He had to go. It was him and me. So I took his soul. Took his soul. Took his soul. But he had a family. I killed the man. He had to go. Had to go. He had to go. It was him and me. No hamster. I killed the man. He had to go. Ain't easy being me. Ain't easy being me. Yo. Ain't easy being me. Flawless. Walking around with my guy making up this kind of chorus. Head up in the stars. Head full of bars. Into the scars. Guess what we done? We took it too far. Now shake those hips. Swing those titties. Open those lips. Swallow my kiddies. Sexy motherfucker. Yo, you got
Hey, that was sick. Well done, bro. Well done. Mate, that was unreal.
I made that full of
Made that on the spot.
I made those 3 little clips up.
Yeah.
Coming up there, walking.
Mate,
I know
well
it felt
done.
good because I'm gonna nice
Well
buzz.
done.
From Brighton.
He's got a YouTube video out now. Had like 600 views, so he's on the graft. But then starts to talk about how he spent 16 years in prison and all these things he went through, and it wasn't the best of conversations. Okay. He was halfway through a Stella at the time. It was a weird sort of scenario to be in.
Convict walking around.
And as this is going on, other people starting to flood in and sort of come up to me, and I don't know if I just looked like I was there for the business. I was wearing the sliders, of course.
Yeah.
And people were there like, "You here for Simon Squibb'S thing?" And I was like, "I am." And obviously, I thought it was a good networking opportunity as well. So I'm talking to all these people.
Yeah. I mean, we always preach that, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, whoever you mingle with, especially if it's like a game or a challenge, as Ollie went into, just get in touch with everyone. You never know who might blow up from that little scenario that you're in.
Yeah, the thing for us as well, we've got this podcast for an abundance of reasons. One of the main ones is so that other people can see how we've put into practice starting a business, turning over every stone, going through every trial and tribulation. And these other people that attended, they are the perfect audience for it.
They're like-minded candidates.
Exactly. If I was going to get anybody as a subscriber or a Patreon viewer or whatever else, it was these people there. And so, the networking began and you're firing questions to everybody and ended up being about 40 people that turned up, which wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a long line of 200 people like the video that was sent to me. So already you kind of felt more exclusive.
Whistled it down, yeah.
Exactly.
Because didn't you say in the last one, it was like, I'm here at this location, anyone turn up. But this one you had to like send an application, put a video through.
Yeah, so it was a lesson that he learned. Basically, a couple of people who were there on the day as well were there on the previous video. And they said,
really?
Yeah, we were there and we didn't even get seen by him.
For support or?
No, they were there on the previous video to like pitch their idea.
Oh, again.
Because Simon had put on his story, we're going to be in this location on this day.
Right.
Turn up, basically.
Yeah.
200,000 people are watching the thing. So effectively, like 300 people turned up on the day. There was a line that went down 3 streets length, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you had people stepping forward and giving their 30-second pitch, taking 3 or 4 minutes each. Ends up 3 or 4 minutes for 80 odd people. You're there for 4 hours, and only a fraction of people have been seen. And so that happened, and that's what the crew of Simon were mentioning. They were like, it just didn't work. We needed to like cut down the list.
Yeah.
That's why we went to applications. And Simon even said himself when he then finally turned up, he said, look, there's been 1,000 applications. We've whittled it down to you 40. Let's go, basically.
Yeah. What did he say? Anything on the line?
So, what do you mean by on the line?
Any cash prize?
Oh, on the line. Yeah, sorry. So he stands there and he was like, right, we're going to do some pre-stuff. He was filming about some of the like GoPros and other things that he had set up for the day and like doing some like B-roll stuff of him walking towards us, walking away from us. We all just stood there like looking at him like...
It's like
so
The Apprentice, isn't it?
Yeah,
you hear all like the insider things.
I mean, he's quite funny. He kept turning around to us and saying stuff like, I'm really bad at this sometimes. Like, he trips over his own words. They have to redo and take like 3 times or something.
Funny.
But to be fair, the guy is calm and collected though in most situations. Like, when he was being presented with questions or people coming up to him mid-filming, he was very like good at like managing
his
his
backstory is insane.
Absolutely insane.
Like crazy.
Mate, when he was 15 years old, got kicked out of the home because he fell out with his mum because his dad had just passed away.
Yeah.
He then from there creates a marketing agency which then turns into multi-millionaire sort of like profiteering. Makes all these network connections, spends years doing other businesses around the world, focuses back on the UK, and now he's on the social grind and like without a doubt smashing it.
Yeah, because his business got bought out by a big company, and he says he has money that he doesn't need almost.
Yeah.
So now he's looking to like give back, and that's why he's working, I think, with Richard Branson with Help Bank and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so that's what he's looking to produce.
He also got a grant recently as well as part of like a big award. Got £1 million as a grant towards helping other people. I mean, as far as an inspiration for us in this podcast and the content we're trying to put out, it is the pinnacle almost.
Yeah, it resembles exactly what we're trying to promote in a way.
Without a doubt.
Anyway, so he goes, how much is on the line?
So he said $10,000 is on the line, right?
Jeez.
Which was double the previous video, right? Now I know they gave extra money.
You're just like, oh my god.
I mean, I look at everybody else like, what the?
You're just throwing out 10k on a random Monday.
Exactly. And also another thing was in the
Malcolm
previous video.
Was he in the background like?
He was doing some stuff. I think they had to like usher him away. But the previous video was 5k, so I'd had a question prepped in my head. What would I do with 5k?
Yeah.
I didn't have a question prepped in my head. What would I do with 10k? So anyway, that was like by the by.
Wow.
And then the video was explained to us. He has a camera crew of like 8 people, two of which said to him originally they worked for him for free, and now they're like being paid on the graph for it. Like fully respect to them boys for like putting their graft out there above like the chances of getting paid and, like, for the right people.
100%.
Don't you go walking away to Simon Squibb. We're going to do just as good.
We're paying you as well.
And we're paying you.
I'm sticking right here.
Good man.
He's just won the millions, I can tell, on the scratch card.
I forgot about that. We'll get to that in a sec. Anyway, what then ensued was they talked through the day. So the day worked like this.
Giving you a bit of an agenda, a little breakdown.
A 3-stage business challenge.
Right.
Stage 1.
Yeah.
Very similar to the first video. He said this. He goes, line up in a line. We're about to do like business Tinder. He goes, you're going to step forward one by one, Bear in mind, there's like 40 people now. You can step forward one by one.
Yeah.
If you go over 60 seconds, you're out. He goes,
Ooh.
you got to pitch your dream.
Someone timing it?
And one of the camera guys was timing it, yeah.
Wow.
He was like, 60 seconds, you're out. You pitch the business to me. I'll either say yes, and I'm going to hand you a pen, or I'm going to say no, and you're going to step to one side. And everyone's looking at each other going, right, this is what we prepared for.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking beforehand, we were all preparing our 60-second pitch.
How many pens did he have to give out? Do you
He
know?
had 10.
10.
He said this. He goes, I've got 10 pens. And I was like, Christ. And obviously he goes, right, get in a line. And my brain goes, the sooner the better. Because once you've got 10 opportunities to give a pen, in my mind, psychologically, you've got more likely to get a pen. If you write down the back and he's already given away 9 pens, do you see what I mean? You've got your chances are much slimmer.
/ if the 30th person walks up and he's the 10th person,
exactly,
or she's the 10th person, then just
she's in person. I didn't want to mention that.
Like Simon Squibb.
Try and say that 3 times faster.
God, mate, Jesus Christ, what happened there? Whiskey's kicking in. I was thinking that as well, actually. Simon Squibb, Suits and Sliders, like that's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it?
Maybe Simon Squibb's on Suits and Sliders.
Yeah. So you're where in the queue?
I'm third.
Third in the queue.
The queue lines up, and I see like he was going right. Stand over there. Some people stepping forward. I was get my shoulder in here somewhere.
All right. So it was like you will just get in line.
I just get in line. Nothing more than that. Get in line.
So
we're about to go.
You just went, I'm going front.
Well, he was like, the line's going to be here. I kind of stood myself in the middle so that I could try and figure out wherever he was going to point. I was going to.
Were there like a load of like pushing in, like trying
behind me? I could see that, and people like. I would say this one thing now quickly before we get into it. The other 39 people there, absolute legends. What an amazing group of people. People that were like selfless, that were caring of each other, like full of dreams, full of like amazing ideas.
Well, you're all like-minded people if you're all there for one reason.
Exactly, but like the fact
you're all going to support each other in some sort of aspect.
Yeah, and I think that was a big part of like the Simon Squibb following. It is about people who support each other rather than people being like dog eat dog, which is what I think the business world has been for many years.
You've got to uplift each other in a way.
And it was exactly that. And the 2 people stood in front of me, they were amazing individuals. Husband and wife had separate business ideas and separately got invited on the channel, which is crazy.
Clever,
the likelihood of that.
Though.
Very clever. And the husband was an absolute legend called Jason. Rachel, the wife, she had an amazing idea as well. I won't spoil it for them. I'm sure they'll be able to say at some point on the pod as well.
Right, so they're 1 and 2.
So they're 1 and 2. I'm 3, and then we've got a whole group of people behind me. Right.
So they step up, or one steps up.
Off we go. Right. Rachel steps up. I can't really hear what she's saying, but Simon's interacting well. She gets a pen. She stands.
Like,
to
how
the
far in
yes.
front are they then? Can you?
6-7 feet, but not enough that I can hear really, because like they've got a little mic and it's windy day and all this sort of stuff.
But you're seeing people get pens.
Get a pen, because he said if you stand to this side you're a yes, this side you're a no. So I can see if they're getting a pen and standing to one side that they're a yes. She gets a yes. Up Jason goes. Jason's there. Pitches his idea. Simon goes, yes. Pen.
So that's 2 out of 10 gone.
My mind faints in my own head. Like I go, well, he's not going to say yes 3 times in a row. Or he's got 37 more people he has to say no to, and they've only got 7 chances six chances left after me. So I step forward. Now, I watched a video of Simon Squibb beforehand, and obviously if you're going to get in touch with these big influencers and people in the industry, do your research on them, obviously. So I did my research on Simon, and I understand what his passions are, what his involvement is, and how that could align with my business. So in a way, you pull on the heartstrings early doors, because that is what's required when you're doing a pitch.
You're stepping into a place where you've been given a good opportunity. You've got to utilise it.
Exactly.
You've got to come prepped. If you don't come prepped, you're not going to get a yes.
I completely agree. Everybody who was there and probably didn't prepare a pitch, they struggled at that stage of course, and that might have been what led them towards not having a successful chance to get through to the next stage.
Like in life in general, when you get an opportunity, you've got to take it by
Exactly.
hands.
I mean, many of those people who still did get had incredible ideas and they pitched really well as well.
Of course.
I think that's what helped me being earlier on.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I step forward and I deliver my pitch. My pitch very much aligns with the property thing first, and then I was just about to get into talking about the podcast. I'm only 20 seconds in, but I said a key word that he liked, which was the identification that companies like BlackRock and the government are buying up property at such a rate that's making it unaffordable for average people to buy a home. And that
that's
resonated
a struggle at the
with him.
moment in the UK particularly. So,
It's a huge struggle. And that resonated with him.
Yeah.
So he just went, yes. Companies like BlackRock who are boosting prices every
You got me on BlackRock, you're through.
Thanks so much. I almost fell over. I went, come on! Like that. Took the pen, stepped to the yes side. I embraced Rachel and Jason, like, come on, we were hugging
I
and
thought you
stuff.
were about to say Simon Squibb
Dab up Simon Squibb.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept shaking.
my
I
G.
probably shook his hand 5 times on the day. I guarantee I shook his hand at least 5 times. I bet by the end of the day he was like, stop shaking my hand.
Nice
Like-
sweaty hand.
And so, anyway, so I stepped to the S. I'm unbelievably elated, right? And I turn around.
That's probably the hardest part, I'd say. Getting in out of the 40 people.
That was tough. Yeah,
in
you're
the
100%
top
right.
10.
But if you're probably right, but the
As in
pressure
the odds of that.
amplified from
The
then
odds of that,
onwards.
though, is mental.
It was absolutely mental. Because obviously 25% of people getting
Yeah,
through, 75% of people are not getting through. I hate those odds, right? And anyway, I turn around, and as I turn around, I'm seeing no.
Savage.
And my heart is dropping. People that I've heard their amazing ideas. There was like a girl came down from Liverpool. She had an incredible social media idea.
Game's a game,
She had a no. It is the
Game's
game.
a game.
But like once you've like networked with these people and you're all in the same boat, it feels like really detachable
Winners
to then
and
have
losers in games, I'll tell you that.
people. You're so much more cutthroat than I am.
Dubs. Only. The suits and sliders.
So I go over to the yes. I'm glad you weren't there because you would have pissed everybody off.
Competition.
So-
mate. No, but that is so peak though.
Oh, so
I mean,
peak.
but then, like, as brutal as it is a game, and as you mentioned, it sounded like Simon was saying there are only going to be a couple winners or one winner here. So
He did say that, and to be fair, he did highlight that even if you hear a no, you're still just
you've
as
got
valid.
that far in the first place.
Exactly.
You should be proud of yourself.
Super proud of yourself. And everyone who was getting no's as well, hats off to them. They were so loving and respectful. Like everyone who got yeses and supportive of us and stuck around right to the very end as well.
Of course,
some
like
of
you
them.
mentioned, it's a networking opportunity. That's probably the greater thing out of all of it.
Exactly.
There's like people out there will get contacts for life potentially.
100%. Anyway, the next 37 people go by like a flash, and you're hearing yeses and nos. A couple more people come over to me, which I was.
So
there
is he
like,
even like letting them get to the 60? Was it 30 seconds or
60 seconds was the max.
Or was he just like stopping them and going, no?
A couple people, yeah.
That's, oh my God.
Yeah, there was one guy who had an amazing football touring idea. He went over the 60 seconds and Simon said no. And like he got no. But his idea was so cool. So I feel like certain people did lose out on the fact they went over the 60 seconds.
Brutal.
Certain people didn't. But again, we had no register of what the time was. So we just stood there talking.
Yeah.
And when you're in that momentum of stuff, like a concept of time goes out your head, you're just waffling. You know what I'm like anyway. Waftling's my key fucking feature. So anyway, we rack it through the 40 people.
Crazy.
And then we stood there at the end. And there, it came down to be fair, number 39 and 40, there was still 1 pen left. So bear that in mind. Between 37 people left and 2 people left, he only said yes 5 times. So that was crazy. Do you see what I mean? Because he said yes to the first 3.
Yeah.
And
so
then
there's 7 left.
1, 2.
so
Sorry, you're right. Sorry. So he said yes 6 times in the middle 37 people, and the last 2 got a pen between them. And amazing people, really amazing people. And so anyway, I think it came down to the last 2 as well. I think from what I could see was both of them stepped forward and both pitched at the same time for that last pen. I wasn't close enough to be able to see that, but that's how it looked. And he went to this one woman and her son. Stressful as sin.
Seeing like you're down to the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
Anyhow. Then obviously it's the end of the first round.
So 10 of you are through.
10 of us are through. We step back forward and he goes, right, you 10 are through. As you can see, you have a pen. And we've kind of worked out between ourselves it's time to sell a pen. To who we didn't know. We thought,
the age-old question.
sell Simon the pen. And I had a speech ready for it. The second that I got handed a pen, I was preparing a speech in my head. I was saying, I'm going to say this to him. I'm going to go, you want to write down people's dreams on our business cards. You got 40 people here that have like this small little card in their hand where they can write their dream. That's how I was going to sell it to him. So it got a bit of us, a bit of him, so on and so forth. But then it hits me. He goes, you'll be selling this to a member of the public. And I was like, right, I was like, how the heck am I going to do this? But bear in mind, there are a lot of people starting to circulate now. So there's people stood around watching Simon, watching us.
Crowd, yeah.
Exactly. And as we stood in line, they all handed us a GoPro. And I'm turning around looking at people behind me. While the rest of them were nattering, I don't know if this will be on the video. I'm just saying to like public members, have you got any cash? Have you got any cash? Just so I know the right people to go to when we all set off. Everybody I turn around to says, no cash.
Carries cash.
I was like...
But no one does. We learned that from our business thing, didn't we?
And also, there was no rules or regulations to this. He sets in the play in motion. He goes, right, you have this pen. You've got to sell it for £1. Okay, you've got to sell it for £1. however means necessary. You can say it's for the challenge. You can try and sell them the actual pen for the purpose of the pen.
Just get
whatever
a
you
quid.
need. But 3 people who make it back first are getting through. So I'm now looking at these 10 people, all of which have amazing ideas. And I'm like, God, 3 people. That's like insane. It's even less odds of getting through this time. It's like 70% of people are getting turned away. And it's about speed. It's not about anything else.
It's also a bit of luck as well.
Huge luck.
Got to jump to the
Get into
person
the right
that actually
person, all
has
that sort of
cash.
stuff. And he goes, go, like that. No hesitation. All of us scatter like mice. I go one way compared to everybody else. I've got this camera guy following me laughing because I'm wearing the sliders, running around, trying not to fall over, right? I go up to one person, have you got any money? They're like, no, sorry, I've not got any cash. Turn around to somebody else, have you got any cash? No. Turn to these guys, these 4 foreign guys who clearly were there like kind of traveling or whatever. I was like, have you guys got any cash? And they were there like, so what's this about? And then I started explaining it. I was like, I don't have time to explain this. So I turn around, I run to somebody else. No cash. Turn to somebody else. There was a woman, she goes, oh, my sister might. So I'm talking to her sister. And as I'm talking to her sister, the foreign lads come back and they go, £5. I was like, come on. But as I turn around, I see that 2 people have already come back and handed money. So I'm like, there's 1 space left. I grab this fiver, hand in the pen, and I am legging it back. I'm only probably about 10 feet from him. But as I run towards Simon, his back's facing to me, and Jason from earlier on...
Were you like circling the little crowd area? Then?
Yeah,
You
so
just
I ran through the crowd.
Okay,
I'm trying to come back through the
fair,
crowd, but there's a big taxi rank there, which I'm trying to run through the cars to get back.
Who's Jason?
And
then?
Jason was the guy who was in front of me in that line in the first round.
Oh, yes.
That guy.
Yeah.
Jason's running towards the front of him. I'm running behind him. We are literally neck and neck. I'm not kidding when I say there was less than a foot of distance in it. Jason gets there first.
No.
Jason gets there first with £1, hands it to Simon. I go, Simon! And the camera guy got it. And the camera guy was like, that was so close. Right?
Little TMO, please. VAR.
Simon turns around to me and he's like, sorry, you weren't there first. And I took my hats off to Jason. I was like, you know what? I'm happy with the 3 people that got in. I stepped back.
No, game's game.
So that's where it was left. And as we stood there and everybody else was starting to funnel back in, one guy comes back in with £1.50 and he runs up to Simon and goes, Simon, I got £1.50. And Simon's like, Fraser didn't make it in time. This guy goes, but I got more money. And Simon starts having a conversation back and forth and I'm looking and I'm like, hold on, I've got a £5. Like, I've got £1.50. I've got a £5. Right? And as I say that, I see Simon's PA, Katie, amazing girl. She stood behind Simon going, step forward. And so I was like, Simon, did you see I've got a £5? Right? Kind of pushed it in his face and he turns around and he's like, when did you get back? I was literally like just about to miss out on the cut. He was like, yeah, but this guy's like explained that he went over expectations. I was like, but I've got a £5. Like, come on. And then Simon, to be fair, recognised. He was like, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you're fighting for it, but you didn't get in the first 3 people. Neither you did. You're going to be eliminated. I was like, okay, step back in line. Then we take a couple of minutes out. Simon says, right, can the 3 people who got through step forward? The 3 people who got the £1 in first, step forward. And then he goes, however, I respect somebody who goes above expectations. Can the guy with £1.50 step forward? And can the guy with £5 step forward? I step forward like...
That's crazy.
Everyone stood around looking at my face like...
Mate, kudos to the guy who was like exceeding expectations.
Thank God he did
that
his
probably
part.
planted the seed in his head.
Exactly. However, I think I would have sold it again, given that moment, like when we were all stood in line. I think I would have gone for it then. I hadn't thought about it, but I probably would have said something. So I'd have been there like I got £5. And anyway, the video continues. So he goes, you 5 are through to the final. So I've made it through to the final on Simon Squibb'S video. I am blown away at this point. I did not think I was going to even be there, let alone be in the final. Hey everyone, just checking in. Haven't managed to document much on my own camera yet, but we'll try and see if we can get some footage for everyone. The craziest thing has happened. I am in the final. Got through stage 1 by pitching. It seemed like the angle of BlackRock really kind of harnessed with Simon, and he was very happy to like put me through to the next round. Stage 2 was selling the pen. Missed the first 3 people by a fraction of a second, but because I achieved more than expectations, which was £1, I managed to get £5. He let me into the final. We're in the final. There's 5 people left, and the chance of winning $10,000. This is absolutely insane. This is literally completely life-changing money for the podcast. This is life-changing money for the business ideas. And so I will check in again, but so far so good. It's quite intense, but it's going really amazingly well. Fingers crossed I get myself within a chance of winning that 10,000. All right, check in later. So I'm looking at everyone going, do you not realise One of the 5 of us wins $10,000, and everyone else is like, it's crazy, right? And he goes, right, we're gonna have a half an hour break now. The half an hour break goes on, and he goes, but before I leave, I'm gonna be bringing back a special guest. Everyone starts nattering who's going to be the special. I thought it was going to be Richard Branson at first. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah, because he's been filming a lot with him.
Exactly. And so that ensues, and what we got told was when we came back, the final was going to be a 5-minute pitch, right? And it was going to be torn to shreds on the business plan that we presented. Yeah. So bear in mind, this property one hasn't been fleshed out. Right? No. Let's be honest. The podcast has been, the clothing brand has been, but the other one hasn't been.
Yeah.
And so I'm there writing notes, coming up with stuff. I'm seeing everybody else sat around. People have gone to get lunch and stuff. I'm starving, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm writing food. I'm writing things
I was going to say, like, do you guys eat at all? Do they provide?
They gave us time to.
Yeah.
But if you were making it through the stages, like, I was zoned in.
Don't have time,
I went and got a bottle of water just to give myself, like, breath back in my lungs because I had such, like, stodgy, like, cotton mouth or whatever. And so, yeah, the half an hour passes like a flash. We all come back. And he goes, right, we're going to move over to this area, but I'd like to present the guest to you. And Sarah Willingham, I always get her name wrong. Willingham, I think, steps forward, who was a Dragon's Den judge. She's not on the current show, but she was a brilliant judge back in the day. And has got plenty of businesses. London Cocktail Club's one of hers. She's got a bunch of other things that she was a big part of BBC Two and like other companies like that established themselves. And we walk over to another location, and they say, right, you're going to take it in turns. Who wants to go first? And I put my hand up, and so does Jason. Right? Me and Jason are like back and forth this whole way. But he's such a legend. And Simon picks Jason. And actually, at that point, I went, oh, thank God, because now I can do a bit of research on Sarah so that I can like get some good bits in for the pitch that revolved around her.
And do you get to like kind of eavesdrop a little bit, or...?
Not really. I could kind of see some of the questions Simon was asking just because I was looking at his mouth moving, but I wasn't close enough to hear the responses
how long
and stuff.
Were they grilling it?
They said 5 minutes. I think Jason's probably lasted 5 or 6 minutes. The next girl's lasted 8 minutes. The next one lasted 8 or 9 minutes. I swear to God, mine was the longest one.
Really?
I swear to God. It felt like a lifetime. And I know when you're feeling it's going to feel like that, but even when I like stepped to one side,
everyone
Jason was like, yours took a long time. I was like, it felt like it did. That was probably a reason for that.
Right.
Because I stepped forward.
Wait, so what were you in the queue then? If Jason
I was 4 out of 5.
Right.
So 3 people have gone before me, and then it's me.
And they haven't made a decision like on the spot.
No, but what I have seen them do is during it they've said. Sorry, actually, I'll mention this beforehand. Before we even started the final round, Simon stood us all in a line and said, "Step forward if you don't need the money." That's how he phrased it. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, do we need the money? Well, yes, because there's a lot of expenses that come as part of starting this business. There's a lot of things in the future that's going to come as an expense, and that money would be so vital towards our growth. And also, if I'm talking about the property side of the company, that has no money behind it at all. That definitely needs money behind it at some point in the future. This money wouldn't cover it, but it would certainly make an initial marker towards I don't know, registering the company, all that sort of stuff. I think
anyone there surely wants money. That's probably the main reason why you're there. You're not there for clout or fame. You're there to pitch a potential idea and hopefully get the likes of Simon to join in your business.
And I think that was the difference between this video and the previous one, because the previous one, it was just anyone turning up. People turning up saying like they had an idea, they wanted to be a footballer. Like they don't need the money, they just need the exposure. Somebody turning up saying I want to create a social media brand, they just need the exposure, they don't need the money. Everybody who was there went through the application stage of presenting a proper business. So we did all kind of need the money. And funnily enough, no one stood forward. I'm looking left, I was debating in my head, I was going, do I, don't I? But if the composite that was given to me was need money or no money at all, at that point, the switch flicked in my head. I was like, I haven't had a chance to get out of the podcast yet. At the very beginning, I said about the property thing. Then I sold a pen. I'm stood here with sliders on. I'm not explaining myself at all. Everyone's looking at me like a weirdo, right? And so I was like, I can't step forward because I need an opportunity to present this podcast.
That's probably what they're thinking.
Exactly. But there was a bit of like the logo presented somewhere, which I can't tell you about yet, because it actually will come out on our next episode that we're filming. But
I saw it on your sliders.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise you'd seen that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
No, but that's because so what Simon does is he goes like, what's your brand or what's your idea? And they'll be like, oh, it's a hoodie or clothing or something like that. He'd be like, why aren't you wearing your brand? You should be wearing your brand all the time. Yeah. So the fact you went with it on your sliders.
I was wearing it. I mean, I can get the sliders out.
Yeah, get them out.
Yeah, I'll just get them out now.
Well, people probably would have watched you come from this episode. So, like, show Tom as well. Tom's obviously not.
Yeah, no, I think I saw them on. Yeah.
Give us one. Go on. That's sick, man. That's so cool.
Sliders with the logo.
I didn't realise it was like that. I thought you stuck a logo on one of these ones.
Nah, bro.
That's so cool. No, that's brilliant because if they're panning to that, like you
and
mentioned,
they pan to it so many times. I'm hoping it's in the video because they got panned to it quite
100%.
a lot of times.
That's sick, man.
And I hadn't explained it. Like, I was pretty much just there, like just telling everybody about these podcasts. I told a lot of people about the podcast, but hadn't had a chance to say it to Simon yet. Anyway, the moment comes. I step forward. And I've got to now explain the initial idea to Sarah as well.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's not heard it. Simon was the only one there at the start.
So was Sarah just like around or?
She was judging at the same time. They were stood together.
No, I mean like prior to this.
No, she wasn't there before.
Oh, so she came
She
in just
came
for
later.
this little part.
That's why we had to have a half an hour break. She wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So I stepped forward.
That's mental. His contacts just to bring out a Dragon's Den person.
It's crazy.
Just casually in Brighton with Malcolm in the background.
Absolutely. Malcolm in the background.
Chilling.
Bow, 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 bow.
Little theme
And I step forward and I present the idea. And I take probably about 60 seconds to get the idea out on the table or so on and so forth. And I have Simon look at me, Sarah look at me, they look at each other, they look back at me, and they both say the same thing. I don't get it.
No way.
They went, I don't understand it. I'm confused.
Wait, so what was the 60-second kind of pitch in a gist, if you can? Like, did you mention?
I mentioned the same stuff I did at the
podcast,
start.
The clothing brand.
I hadn't mentioned the
all that,
podcast
no?
yet. So I was getting out the initial thing because he said relay the first bit to Sarah, but with a little bit more explanation behind it. So I was just relaying the company thing at first. Because he said, as I stepped forward to him, he said, yeah, you mentioned the BlackRock, so that's why you got through the first stage. He actually said that.
Mental.
So, like, I had to play on that card initially. And obviously, that was the main big dream that I was trying to profit off anyway. So I say that. And as I'm saying it, they both say, I just don't get it. Like, what is the company? I was like, well, it'd be a property management company that utilizes connection with big industries in order to create hub locations for their low salary employees. And they were like, still don't get it. I'm going back and forth. And then I was like, I'm running out of time here to mention the podcast. I said, and they were like, what would you, and then she asked me the hardest question ever. She goes, what would you spend? And I was ready to hear 5,000, 10,000. She goes, what would you spend $1 million on? I was like, $1 million. And they were like, yeah, $1 million. I was like, okay, well, and I gave some random response. And they were both like, yeah, you've spent way too much money there. Because I said about buying the properties instead of like acquiring them or whatever else, and just managing them. Anyhow, they ask another question. I go, right, it's time to stop playing games. I mentioned the podcast. I say, in the pursuit of me having this business in the future, we want to document our journeys from day one and have stepping stones that teaches us about business firsthand, first rate. I said, I've got a podcast called Suits and Sliders. They both look down at my sliders. Right? And then I go, the podcast has currently reached the view count it has within 100 days.
Yeah.
And they were like, huh?
Yeah.
And then Sarah goes, well, that's one hell of a business. I was like, it is. And it stands alone. And it is in its own right a business that's going to do well.
The view count that we've reached in less than 3 months as of now, even though it's probably past 3 months, is over 260,000 views across all platforms.
Exactly.
And then obviously the YouTube, we've got about 130 odd subscribers, etc.
Exactly.
So it's still very early doors, but the traction's there.
Yeah. And we get into it, and they're both then very impressed by that. They're like, you should have mentioned that. I was like, I'm mentioning it now. I've not really had a chance to yet. And they were like, what would you spend £5,000, £10,000 on? I say, oh, well, we've got an amazing editor. I genuinely said this. Is the first thing I said. So we've got an amazing editor who's working on the weekends on a bar. I said, he's working in the weekend on a bar, which resonated with the whole camera crew. They loved hearing that. They were like, respect to him. And I was like, to give him some money back to help support him in his journey in terms of becoming a full-time editor. I said on top of that, the other money would go towards X, Y, and Z, explain a few other things, and then throw in on behalf, as I discussed beforehand with you, that we wanted to run a competition that Simon could be party to, which was, we wanted to pay for somebody's dream, if it involved travel, to have a round-trip flight to somewhere in Europe on behalf of Suits and Sliders. So we were going to cover that ourselves, and I offered him that as well. And so it ended really nicely. And it ended just before I walked away. He said, right, as with the discussion we've had now, do you need the $10,000 or would you prefer to split it with everybody else?
To you?
To me.
Yeah.
And I said, if I was to start the property company, I would need all the 10,000 because I heard the last 3 people say split it and they almost got like told off for it because they were like, why didn't you step forward before? So I didn't want to be falling at that hurdle as well. So I said, I'd need all of it to start the property company. And we went back and forth and talked and I said, however, after the deliberation that we've had and the education that they've given me as far as how we take the next steps with the podcast, I wouldn't need that £10,000 now. It's something that would be required in the future. So I would be more happy splitting the money with these other individuals. And Simon actually kind of was a bit like jokingly annoyed at it. He was like, I need somebody to take this money because everyone said split so far.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'd rather split it. And I walk away. See the last guy go up to him. I felt like I'd just been through a boxing match.
Did you mention the fact that we're documenting a business from ground up?
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Did they not probe on that a little bit more?
A little bit. The sort of second half of it was about the podcast. It was about what we do on the podcast. I explained it was our day one journey. He gave us the incentive. He was like, I hope you're like putting disclaimers in there in case you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I was like, we definitely are.
And what about like the clothing brand alongside it, stuff like that?
Didn't really get much of the clothing brand.
Did not get into it? Fair.
Not really. Just because obviously I didn't.
I guess you're so limited in time. Like
that's one thing.
If they're asking questions about a particular thing, you probably just got to focus on that.
Exactly. And also, like, I didn't want to discredit the podcast or the property thing by saying another business, because then they've got
which we
the
haven't
armory
really
to, like,
launched as of yet.
Exactly. So then they've got the armory to say, oh, well, how many things are you juggling? You've got to focus on something, which we are focused on something. That's the point. And anyway, so that was kind of how that then came to an end. Step to one side, everyone else is like stressed about it, and everyone's felt the same way. Everyone's like, that was really intense, that was really difficult.
Well, of course, there's a lot on the line. Like, you're playing for a bit of money, but not only that, you're pitching to some very influential people.
Exactly. And he gave some great knowledge as well. He said about how Stephen Bartlett with his podcast had reached out to sponsorships before he'd released his first video and got sponsorships on board, gave me some guidance as to how to go about that, and then gave me some other little incentives as far as podcasting goes. And we move on, and the last guy goes up to him, and we're all stood there at the end, the other three prior to me going up, talking about it, and we were like, yeah, we all said to split, but he's going to pick someone, so on and so forth, and we're talking about it, and they were great people, we're still connecting, making good sort of networking opportunities with these people. And it comes to a close, and 4 hours has passed at this point. It was maybe 2 hours. 4 hours has passed at this point. I am starving. I'm so hungry. Like, I am feeling like I'm about to faint, especially with the amount of pressure and adrenaline that was going on. And then one of the camera crew comes over to us and is like, do you mind like walking over there? We were like, yeah, sure, all of us, like the people who got to the final. So we all walk off, and I thought he was then going to ask the rest of the people that stayed to the end, would you vote for somebody? That's what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't that way. Well, I don't think it was that way, because then everybody else came walking over. Simon and Sarah apparently went to Pret together, and they like had a discussion at Pret over a coffee. So we all just stood there in the cold, like,
great.
See how long this takes. Half an hour passes, haven't seen them. And then they finally walk out, and we're stood there at the end. And I'm nervous as sin, obviously. 1,000 people, down to 40 people, down to 10 people, down to 3 people, up to 5 people, finale. And I'm there, my heart's racing. And I'm looking at everybody else. And to be fair, I genuinely felt this way. If anyone had won that money, I would have been elated, because I felt passionately about everybody's business at that point.
Well, yeah, because you're all sharing with each other, so you all get to understand the backstory, the reason why.
And we were all just as passionate about it, in the sense that, like, we'd all just been through a right slog, and it was tough for everybody. And we all got through it, and so we stood there at the end, and Simon goes, "I have a winner." He looks to the left and he makes eye contact with me briefly. I'm like, trying to pick me, please, pick me. Goes to the other end and he says, "The winner is all of you. You are splitting the $10,000 because you've chosen to split the money.
Fair.
So each of you have won $2,000 towards your businesses."
Sick, man.
Unbelievable. So I'm cheering. I'm like, woo! Like,
so I'm guessing,
embracing
like,
everyone.
Everyone clearly didn't need the 10K.
He said that, yeah.
So that's probably what their discussion was about. I was like, well, they can all do with 2K. No one really needs a 10K outright.
I think so, yeah.
Do you think if anyone was to say, oh, no, I need the 10K, do you think he would have been like, okay, he wins the 10K or she wins the 10K?
I thought about that quite a bit, actually.
Surely if they explained it to a point where they were going to utilise that 10K efficiently and well, then I'd think, from watching Simon's videos before, that he would probably go, okay, I'd pick you. But if they said just like, yeah, I need 10K.
In my opinion, everybody that stepped up, including myself, got shown that we didn't need the 10K by them, more so than by ourselves.
Okay.
And so when it came to that final question, I was armed to say, after this discussion, I didn't even say it on the video, after this discussion, I feel like I don't need that 10K and I would rather split it with these other individuals.
Yeah.
And as far as my priviness goes to, I believe everybody said that to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's probably played a part into why we split the money.
But
But
more importantly, my friend,
more importantly,
and I think something that money, particularly from our aspect with Suits and Sliders, cannot buy is, would you like to explain how this
is the
thing
connections.
came about?
So the video ends, throws the money in the air. I, funnily enough, got one of the $100 bills that he threw in the air. It was the motion picture use only. So
Cash
this
that in for
this has got to stay on the
Scratch
podcast.
cards.
But yeah, this is my little memento
That's
for
sick.
the day.
Let's have a look.
You can have a little look. And the video ends, everyone closes down. I'm saying thank you to everyone and giving hugs to everyone, giving our business cards out to a bunch of people, people following the accounts and stuff. And then people start taking pictures with Simon and Sarah, and I go and see Sarah and talk to her back and forth, and we take a picture together. And I step up to Simon and we take a picture. And got all his camera crew stood around him, we're taking pictures and stuff. I put my arm around Simon. I go, thank you so much for this opportunity. It really means the world to me. You're a true inspiration as far as the podcasting goes. I hope you can find somebody who will be inspired by us to pay for their dream to do a European travel. And he turns around and looks at me. He goes, mate, I love your energy. Because I think you've done really well today. You fought for your place and everything. He goes, I'm going to come on your podcast. Simon Squibb is coming on Suits and Sliders.
Yeah, dog.
Turns around to his PA, Katie,
Crazy.
says, I'm going on this podcast. You sort it out. Katie goes, yeah, I'll take your
Wow.
contact details. We will get something sorted.
What-
Simon
what-
Squibb
what
is
did you
coming
say?
on to...
What was your reaction?
I almost
mate?
fainted. Everybody around was like, what? Like all the other guys who were
Mental.
entrepreneurs, girls that were entrepreneurs were like, that's, and to be fair, bless all of them. They were like, yeah, you deserve that. That's amazing. A lot of them have got their own social medias, their own channels, their own YouTube stuff. And he's coming exclusively on
Huge.
Suits and Sliders in the near
Huge.
future, which blows the 2000 out of the water.
Oh,
I mean, the 2000 is incredible as well.
100%.
But I've got all the way to the final on a whim in 48 hours of preparation.
Crazy.
Met Simon Squibb, met Sarah Wellingham,
Got
won the
to
channel,
invest,
won 2K,
yeah.
and Simon Squibb is coming on this podcast.
Unreal, mate.
It's absolutely insane.
Unreal.
Absolutely insane.
Mate, that's
Um,
crazy. And like, to my knowledge, I've not seen him go on anyone's kind of small scale
Neither have
podcast,
I.
let alone someone with 130 subs.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's very rare for like a big celebrity, like
time,
a big
yeah.
like influencer, to be on like our like proportion of a YouTube channel.
Absolutely mad.
100 subs. Our first ever guest is going to be Simon Squibb, who has 4 million followers on Instagram, generates over 10 million views on his videos on YouTube.
Won £1 million grant earlier this year towards helping people and is the king of the hill that we're
Jeez.
trying to climb.
And like, I think for me, if we can get something out of Simon Squibb, either bring him on as some sort of mentor or even have like a call with him, even if it's like twice a year,
Yeah.
4 times a year, once a month, that'll be huge. And if we can do
massive.
something associated with Help Bank in some sort of aspect, that'll be massive because all our values align with him essentially.
Yeah.
And we got in striving for the same goal, and we want people to basically fuel their dreams with their business ideas.
You'll be able to meet Simon
Baffling,
Squibb, Tom,
mate.
tell him about your editing journey and
Yeah,
everything like
man.
that. Hopefully even like speak to him and his other editors to like get good networking connections for yourself. Like this is
Huge.
phenomenal.
So we're currently less than 3 months in to starting our podcast journey, and we've pretty much confirmed a podcast
With
with
Simon
Simon Squibb.
Squibb.
Wow.
It's insane. I have no idea when it's going to come out. We need to obviously
Yeah.
arrange it. We need to prepare ourselves. We
Yeah.
obviously do usually the show
course.
form podcast. This will be a different style of
Yeah.
podcast for you people out there.
We
who
don't
are
know where
watching.
it'll be. It might be at his. If we can get it here, it'll be brilliant.
If we can get it here, it'd be great. But also, if
I
we could
think
get it
he'd
there,
be
I think
keen.
there's an angle that we could potentially get on his podcast
no, but I
as
feel
well.
like he would be keen.
But I think if we could get on his podcast, that'd be good
I
for
think
us.
he would be keen to come see our setup, see
Quite
how
possibly.
we're working as a startup, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I think it's good contact for him to come here, but
I
I'd be
agree.
more than
I
keen to
agree.
go
I
there.
agree.
And if we go there, we've got to bring stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Lots of stuff.
I've got some ideas. We'll give him a pair of sliders.
Yeah, we'll sort
we'll figure all of that out.
So
Um,
got a lot of work to do,
Got a lot
but
of work to do.
wow,
Wow.
what an opportunity, what a privilege as
and
well.
we've had an abundance of messages since from the other
Yeah,
entrepreneurs wanting to come on the
fantastic.
podcast, promote their ideas, speak to us, speak to you. Like,
Yeah, awesome stuff. There you go. I mean, people, it just goes to show if you get an opportunity and you grab it with both hands, you never know what can come from it.
A week ago, this was not even an idea.
No.
A week ago, this didn't exist.
This is not our plan, Ollie. We've got a 5-year plan, and this is going
We're
way,
going way too fast. This was like me running the marathon. I went out the gate sprinting, and K in, I started being sick.
No, we're not going to get sick. That's the
No,
point.
we're not. We're going to keep going.
So like, I think
But wow.
from a business perspective, right, if we end up leveraging this kind of, like you called it 5 minutes of fame, this kind of wave that we're going to get, hopefully, and we do really well, we're obviously going to exceed expectations for what our plan is at the end of the year, maybe even 3 years down the road, etc.
Yeah.
However, what's important is we don't rest on our laurels, essentially.
No.
And if we do achieve what we wanted to in 3 years, within a year, we then got to set a new plan and a new target to strive for when we hit our 3-year goal, whatever it may be.
Completely agree.
So constantly keep moving the goalposts. Don't rest and stay easy and let 3 years drift by.
Yeah.
And suddenly, we hit our goal ages ago, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's when you fall behind the crowd. So if you keep this
agree.
momentum going, keep building on it, that is huge. And kudos to you, my friend. Fuck. I can't swear, but I just saw pretty much insane, mate. Like, I don't know what
I think
to say.
this is a momentous occasion where you can't be
Mental,
like,
mate.
holy shit.
Mental.
I always say it as we, because that is another thing. I step forward and I give my pitch, and I say we, and both of them look at me and go, "Why do you keep saying we?" They genuinely said, "Why do you keep saying we?" I was like, "Oh, because I think about this as a business for everyone."
Did you say that?
Yeah, I haven't got the podcasting bit out yet, so I said I feel like this is for other people, not just me.
It's just how I speak.
And they both looked at me like I was speaking Japanese.
Mental. Like, we actually haven't seen the video right now,
No,
right?
we haven't.
So this
It's
is
posted.
exclusive for us. However, this will probably come out when the video's out.
Yeah.
But we will definitely film a reaction, me and Tom in particular, to watching the video
Yeah.
and get our live reaction to that
Exactly.
because I can't wait for it to drop.
Absolutely
I can't wait
mad.
to watch it.
Yeah, it was the craziest experience as far as this journey's gone for me by
Mental.
far. And yeah, that connection has been made.
Huge.
He'll be coming on the podcast, which is absolutely unfathomable.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can make more connections through him.
Oh, massively.
A lot of life lessons through
Yeah.
him.
But also from that as well, like you mentioned, reach out to sponsors, probably more influencers.
Yeah.
You never know. Or someone might just read that message or video, whatever you do, you post to them, and suddenly it could blow you up. If we are blowing up, I don't know. I bloody hope so.
Exactly.
Crazy.
What a crazy experience.
Crazy. I mean, yeah, it just goes to show, preach what you say. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple eps now, 20 odd eps or whatever it is, and it's coming to life a little bit.
It really is coming to life. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say than that.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
We'll
I
catch
mean-
up again in the future. We do have the scratches, actually.
Oh, yeah. We might have won millions.
Could you imagine? Come away with even more.
Yeah, before we sign out then.
So I'll start.
Go on.
I'll start because I've had a momentous weekend.
Go
as
on.
it
We'll
is.
let Tom go last.
Definitely Tom's going last. So I have won nothing, I'm afraid. I didn't win this time.
Yeah, so this was
Try
like
my best. But no.
match blue and blacks. Blue pays double.
Yeah, so
I
match
got
3
absolutely
numbers.
nothing as well. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, over here, the closest I got was 2 blue £2, then a £20, so nothing. I want to try and do what Ollie does and flick.
Well,
I can't do it.
nice.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Skilled. Anyway,
I guess that signs us off here.
to be fair, probably like the happiest I've ever been to lose a scratch card because I do not care right now.
Yeah, no.
Insane, mate.
Absolutely insane.
Well done. I mean, I'm sure there'll be little clips and stuff up if we can posted on this video throughout. But yeah, wow.
Wow, indeed. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, guys.
Do all that.
Definitely hit the notification bell because there's a big video coming out in the
Yeah.
future, which now you all are aware. Check out Smart Productions with Tom.
Stay
and-
posted for our competitions that we run as well. Like
do
we
so.
we do like to give back when we can to our fans, our Suits and Sliders fans. And if you can, drop a comment down below. Whatever competition we got running at the time, you might win some cash, you might win some prizes, whatever it may be.
Exactamundo.
Yeah, keep an eye out for big things to come. Hopefully.
Certainly. Right, we'll see you all soon, you lovely people. If you want any questions directed to Simon on the video that we're going to have with Simon in the
Yes.
future, get those questions in the comments. Get them in our DMs. Check out our socials. It will all be there.
I've already got
And go check out the video on Simon's account as well.
I've already got someone who wants to know what Simon's favourite kebab is, so
Interesting.
it could be anything.
We will be armed with the best questions for the big man.
100%. Anyways, let's go, boy.
Let's go. Toodle.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
Hey everyone. As you can see, I'm now back in the studio. Just driven home. What an experience. Truly the most awe-inspiring day I've probably ever had. Watching these 40 or so candidates pitch their idea and be as passionate as they were, and then for that to move down to the 10 people who, if anything, you felt like you were one big team and you were just trying to let everybody win at that stage because everybody knew how important it was to them. And then to keep kicking on from there and to have the magic of the guy giving me £5 to get through the second stage, even though I did miss the qualifying of it. And to get to that final and have people who you've been looking up to your entire life deliberate with you and help you logistically bring out the passion that you have and the dreams that you have. It was truly the single-handed most exhilarating experience I've had on this journey so far. And to walk away not only with winning alongside those other incredible people, which gives the podcast $2,000. $2,000 is mega for us. But on top of that, obviously it wasn't on film, but I've got some incredible news. And that incredible news is Simon Squibb, the probably biggest inspiration to me as far as my business journey has gone, has agreed to come on the podcast. This is euphoric in the impact that it's had on me. $2,000, don't get me wrong, will make a huge difference, but having him sit alongside us here and talk and deliberate will be life-changing. It will be life-changing not only for the podcast itself, but it will be life-changing for us. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity, and it is about putting yourself out there. None of this would have happened if I just hadn't responded to one of these sort of DMs on Simon Squibb's Instagram. And 48 hours later, I'm $2,000 up and got the most influential man in business, as far as the UK goes, coming on the podcast. Got this as a little souvenir. This was part of the fake money that he was having. Motion picture use only. A $100 bill. This is going to be very momentous for me and a memento that I will carry probably for the rest of my life, because I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm sure we would have found a way for this to all work so that you guys could have enjoyed the experience that I went on in the best way possible. If you haven't already gone and checked it out, or if it hasn't come out yet, we'll make sure to let you know when the episode drops on Simon Squibb's YouTube, and we'll give you guys updates as far as him coming on the podcast and when we can make that work. So, thank you for being part of this journey. You were part of the inspiration as to why he came on board and offered me a position in the final, because I could say to him with clarity that we have viewers, we have people subscribing, and it makes all the difference. That proof of concept was probably a big part in swaying him to choose to split the money, including myself. To everybody as well that I met there today, if you're watching this video and we haven't already had a chance to get in touch and talk and even potentially have you guys on the podcast and girls on the podcast, please get in touch. I would love nothing more than to have you feature here with us and enjoy the feeling that I'm feeling right now. This is incredible. Thank you again. I love all of you endlessly. And thank you to Simon. You are a life-changing individual. You really are. Toodle pip.